Imagine that you're going about your daily life and suddenly someone comes up to you who acts like they know you, who begins to speak and reveals things about you that no one else knows. They show you things that are impossible. They speak words of wisdom unlike anything that you've ever heard, and then they ask you to come and see. Now imagine that Jesus is the one speaking these words. This was a reality for the 12 men who were called to be apostles. 12 men who Jesus personally selected to be with him. These men were present for everything, all of the teachings, including the explanations afterwards. They were there to hear all of the parables. They were there to witness the miracles that Jesus performed. Friends, they had an exclusive access to Jesus, the Son of God. They had what you might call the greatest backstage pass that has ever been had. But it all started with John the Baptizer. 2 disciples of John were standing with him when a man walked by, and John identified the man as the Lamb of God. These 2 disciples knew from listening to John that his message was to prepare the way of the Lord. And they came to the conclusion that Jesus was the one, and they started following him. Jesus turned around when he saw these people following him, and he confronted these 2 disciples, and he asked what they were doing, what they were seeking after. And he invited them to follow him, to come and see. You know, this is such a simple phrase, but it is shrouded in such mystery and such hope. The context of John 1:35 through 39 talks about where Jesus was living, but the implication there seems to be much more than that. They were looking for the next teacher, the one that was to take over for John. You know, John's ministry was to decrease, but the ministry of the one that was to come was to increase. They were looking for the one that John was speaking about. And these disciples were eager to find out more. But what was it that they were expecting? No prophet had spoken to Israel as the messenger of God since Malachi. A period of about 400 years of silence had passed. The last words of Malachi foretold of Elijah, the prophet, returning. Now, did they expect this to be the Messiah? Now, we're told that these 2 disciples stayed with Jesus that day to learn from him. And there's no indication of what Jesus said to these 2 disciples, but it's easy to conclude that the message of Jesus was one that was very powerful. And one of the 2 who followed Jesus was a man by the name of Andrew. And after talking to Jesus, Andrew went out and he found his brother Peter. Andrew confided in Peter, told him, "We have found the Messiah." But then he brought Peter to see. His message to Peter was, "Come and see this man that we have found." Well, Jesus extends that same offer to us today. He invites us to come and see what spiritual blessings are available. In Matthew 7, verses 7 through 8, there in the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus said, "Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds. And to the one who knocks, it will be opened." Friends, Jesus wants us to come and see. Well, later Jesus leaves Judea and heads for Galilee. To get there, he passes through Samaria and heading toward a field that Jacob had given to his son Joseph. Jacob's well was located in this location, and Jesus rested there for a while. Well, while they're resting, a woman came to the well to draw water. Well, the disciples had gone away into the city to purchase food. And Jesus and this woman struck up a conversation. They began to talk about that water. And Jesus asked for water from the well, but went on to explain the value of living water that he could provide. Well, unlike water from the well, that living water that Jesus offers, he said that it was that which would cause her to never thirst. Well, he then went on to reveal things about her that she knew that no one else would know. He revealed things that were supposed to be private. But yet, as the Son of God, He knew these things. She then went into the city, began to tell the people there about what she had encountered, who this man was, and what he had said about her. And her message was the same: come and see. Friends, this invitation is so simple. Come and see. Come to Jesus. See what He is able to provide. Friends, we thank you for considering these things with us today, and have a blessed day.